need to be very careful with the information that we share with others. Only share information that is coming from a credible source and has been verified. At this particular time, you don't want to share out information that will alarm and cause panic.
Welcome and thanks for joining us. My name is Chansemlo Zabanda. Our top stories. MEG declares 2 independent candidates and the UDF1 winners of Tuesday's by-elections. EU challenges the Tonse Alliance government to fulfill its reform agenda for the socio-economic development of the country. Lawyers in the judge's attempted bribery case present their oral submissions before the High Court. And in sports, boxer Israel Kamwamba's non-title bout scheduled for Tanzania this month end is in limbo. Now the news in detail. The Malawi Electoral Commission has announced official results of parliamentary by-elections conducted on Tuesday, with independent candidates winning 2 of the 3 constituencies where the polls took place. These are Mavuto Bokosi, who has won in Palombe North, while Ruben Kanyama has carried the day in Mangochi West. In Mangochi North East constituency, makers declared UDF candidate Idi Kalosi as the winner. The results were announced on behalf of MEG by its chairperson, Judge Dr. Chifundo Kachale. Emmanuel Shibwana reports.
The 2 independent candidates and 1 UDF representative are going home smiling after the announcement of results in the December 15 by-elections. Judge Chifundo Kachale declared independent Ruben Kanyama as winner in the Mangochi West race. Idi Carlos of UDF has been declared winner in Mangochi North East encounter, while Mavuto Bokosi is the victor in the Palombe North contest. 2 petitions were presented to Malawi Electoral Commission by different candidates, but they have been dismissed for lacking merit. The by-elections come after courts nullified area elections. Speaking at the ceremony, Judge Chifundo Kachale bemoaned lack of women participation in the election. He also bemoaned low voter turnout. For the BSN Blantyre, this is Emmanuel Shibwana.
The European Union has challenged the Tonse Alliance administration to walk the talk on its reform agenda for the socio-economic development of the country. Chargé d'Affaires of the EU delegation in Malawi, Aureli Vatat, spoke at the end of the scheduled Malawi-EU political dialogue held on Wednesday afternoon at the Minister of Foreign Affairs offices in Lilongwe. Minister of Foreign Affairs Senhoa Mkaka says the Chakwera-led administration is committed to delivering on its campaign promises with an aim of uplifting the livelihood of the citizenry. Madali Tsupili has filed this report.
The political dialogue between Malawi and the European Union EU focused on national, regional and global issues of interest. Chargé d'Affaires for the European Union delegation in Malawi, Aureli Vatat, said they were confident and hopeful that the Tonse-led government will fulfill its plans in the areas of public sector reform, governance and the economy, among others.
We had a very open discussion about the reform agenda, the public policy reforms that are currently in the making, and the state of the economy. And what I can say is that there is a very ambitious and very solid agenda on track. So we are very happy to see that the proposals made by the new government are very solid. Challenge will be the implementation, but the government is already aware of that and is already putting in place elements to ensure that there is more implementation and implementation that is very cost effective and more efficient.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Senhoa Mkaka said government was happy with the manner the discussion was held.
The conversation, the dialogue went on in the spirit of partnership and mutual respect for each other. We discussed all matters exhaustively, of course leaving room for further dialogue. But all in all, both parties are happy with the way the dialogue went on.
The EU supports Malawi in the areas of agriculture, governance governance, health, economic and women empowerment, among others. For Zodiak, this is Madalitza Piri reporting.
The second regional budget analysis report for the Eastern Southern Africa, formulated at the national level under the Civil Society Organization Nutrition Alliance, CISONA, has placed Malawi among countries that allocate little resources towards nutrition. The report, launched with a focus on Malawi in Lilongwe, says, for instance, 0.5% of the 2019-2020 national budget was allocated towards nutrition interventions against the global target of 3.5%. Deputy Budget Director and the Minister of Finance, Levi Chirwa, says the report will help in addressing the challenge. More in this report.
Rwanda is the country which is on top in making serious allocations towards nutrition interventions, according to the second regional budget analysis report for the East and Southern Africa. The report shows that Malawi allocated 0.9% of the national budget in the 2018-2019 national budget, while in the 2019-2020 financial year, the allocation was reduced to 0.5%. The report also proposes improved strides in gender responsiveness and adherence to legal provisions in nutrition interventions. CISONA National Coordinator Bess Ndovi has since called for increased funding allocation.
We keep on advocating to the ministries responsible, the departments responsible for implementing nutrition, to make sure that even the little resources that they have, they need to be able to reallocating it to nutrition.
Deputy Budget Director in the Ministry of Finance, Levi Chirwa, said information provided through the report will assist in addressing the challenge.
There are quite a lot of issues that have been presented. What we can say is we've started the report and we see the areas or the things that we need to do to improve.
The national budget analysis, which is part of the regional report, was commissioned by CISONA and Save the Children at the national level. This is Winston Kaimira for Zodiak in Lilongwe.
Well, as the country continues to battle the effects of COVID-19, reports show that cases of teenage pregnancies have increased during this period. This came to light during the signing ceremony of a 2-year project to the tune of 4.5 billion kwacha funded by UNFPA, aimed at enhancing access to sexual and reproductive services. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Sports and Youth, Oliver Kumbambe, says for the past 5 months, the country has recorded 44,178 teen pregnancies and 20,109 child marriages. A senior education official in Blantyre has decried shortage of textbooks in the district's primary schools. Director of Education, Youth and Sports under Blantyre District Council, Paul Chimpamba, has since called for support from stakeholders, saying learners are struggling to acquire literacy skills as a result. As Alfred Guta reports, DAP, through Blantyre West Education and Social Development Trust, has rescued learners at Mtonda and Namasimba primary schools with books, which Chimpamba described as critical in alleviating the problem.
Director of Education, Youth and Sports under Blantyre District Council, Paul Chimpamba, told Zodiak Tuesday, access to teaching and learning materials is an issue of concern in the district. He said learners in classes 5 to 8 are struggling to acquire literacy skills due to shortage of books.
The government of Malawi, through the Ministry of Education, is doing what is known as the National Reading Program. And the National Reading Program mostly help learners from standard 1 up to standard 4. Therefore, learners who are in standard 5 to 8, they like also many books for them to enhance their acquisition of reading, but at the same time to gather information which will help them get more information, even which will help them to pass exams.
The Director of Education, Youth and Sports has since held DAP through Blantyre West Education and Social Development Trust for supporting some of the schools with different books. Chimpamba said such an initiative will make a difference. He nevertheless implored on well-wishers to come to their rescue. Blantyre City South Legislator Noel Lipipa concurred with the Director of Education, Youth and Sports, describing the situation as unhealthy. Lipipa said he is currently working with DAP in an attempt to address the problem.
We engaged DAP, who promised us to give us books. They've given us about 47 boxes of books. we have actually decided to distribute this amongst about 7, if not 8 primary schools. But they have committed to increase the number, because what Ntonda Primary School has received is only 1/3 of what they are supposed to receive.
Ntonda and Namasimba primary schools have since benefited from such an initiative. For Zodiak in Blantyre, this is Alfred Guda reporting.
President Lazarus Chakwera has challenged the private sector to play a role in the conservation of natural resources in the country by adopting a natural planted forest. Chakwera said this on Wednesday at Tukombo in Nkara Bay, where he officially launched the 2020-2021 National Forestry Season, where government has disclosed an ambitious plan to plant 60 million trees in the next 5 months. He has also challenged the youth to tap into creative alternative sources of energy like briquettes to substitute charcoal production, which he decried is degrading the environment. Alex Banda reports.
At the launch of the 2020-2021 National Forestry Season, President Lazarus Chakwera announced that government intends to plant and care for 60 million trees between this December to April next year. This comes at a time when Malawi is losing about 30,000 hectares of forests, about 10 million trees annually.
If you take 120 days and you take everyone planting a tree of the adults that we have and the young people that we have, we will surpass that number. And we want to make sure that this initiative is sustained so that the trees we plant are not just for the sake of fulfilling a duty like we planted a tree. Look after it. Make sure that we do take care of our forests.
Chakwera then appealed to the private sector to take a role in conservation of natural resources in the country by adopting a forest.
And we have also asked for the private sector to adopt a forest in all of the communities. If this is sustained, we will be able to do that. The investment is in the people themselves who must believe that this is for our survival.
While commending that there is high-level will from the president, an environmentalist, Matthews Malata, has asked the Tonse-led administration to employ more forestry personnel and equip them with all necessary funds and resources. The president, alongside the First Lady, Monica, planted a Mibawa and mango tree each at Tukombo Primary School. Before that, the President and the First Lady also planted trees and paid homage to the family of late Aleke Banda, a cabinet minister in former President Hastings Kamuzu Banda's regime. This year's National Forestry Season is coined Forests for Improved Health and Well-Being. For Zodiac, this is Alex Banda.
You're watching the news on Zodiac. We have got more news shortly.
Precious things have a secret formula. While John is busy trying to impress, James discovers Tangu's secret. Tangu uses Purity sanitary products from Purity body wash, Purity hands wash, Purity body lotion to Purity dishwash. After a week of using Purity sanitary products, James won the heart of Tangu. Use Purity sanitary products.
Welcome back. You're with me, Chancellor Zabanda. The headlines. MEC declares 2 independent candidates and the UDF one winners of Tuesday's by-elections. EU challenges the Tonse Alliance government to fulfill its reform agenda for the socio-economic development of the country. Lawyers in the judge's attempted bribery case present their oral submissions before the High Court. And in sports, boxer Israel Kamwamba's non-title bout scheduled for Tanzania this month end is in limbo. Lawyers in the judge's attempted bribery case involving business person Dr. Thompson Mpinganjira have presented their oral submissions before the High Court. In his submission, Dr. Mpinganjira's lawyer, Patrice Mkono, told the court that the state failed to bring evidence to prove essential elements of the offences pertaining to his client, hence prayed the court to acquit the defendant. However, the SCB Director, Renek Matemba, dismissed the sentiments. Let's hear from Matemba.
There are a number of issues that we have addressed the court on, but in summary, our case is that the defendant offered a parcel of money to Justice Potani and Justice Tembo. And in our view, according to the evidence that we have, the intention was to influence the decision of the judges that were sitting as constitutional reference case number 1 of 2019. That's our story in summary. The court has not indicated a specific date. What the court has said is when the ruling is ready, they will communicate with us. But the court has hinted that it will be end of January next year, but no specific date has been given.
And Patrice Mkono is Dr. Mpinganjira's lawyer.
For the most part, what the prosecution has done is to suggest that our client, the defendant, offered a parcel to Justice Potani, and but they haven't gone further to show that such a parcel was offered corruptly. And so the offences under which they're charging our client do not create an offence in terms of offering an advantage, because the parcel would be an advantage in a sense. So the offence is not in the offering of an advantage, it is in the offering of an advantage corruptly. So the point you're making is that if you don't bring any evidence that suggests that that parcel you're talking about was offered corruptly, then you have failed to establish before the court at this stage important elements of the offence which relate to you showing that that parcel that you're saying was offered corruptly.
The Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, MCCCI, has recommended review of the country's Employment Act and other legal frameworks to provide relief measures for employees when calamities strike. The recommendation is contained in a report on a survey MCCCI conducted on the impact of COVID-19 on large-scale land-based investments. Joseph Maziz has filed this report.
The Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, MCCCI, conducted the survey across the country between August and September this year. According to the Chamber's head of Real Sector and Microeconomic Policy, Kwagwanji Chilima, most companies and organizations in the agricultural and tourism sectors laid off half of their employees due to the impact of COVID-19. She added that most affected was the hospitality industry. The report recommends that government should review labor-related legislations aimed at addressing challenges that may arise in such circumstances.
Initially, the recommendations were basically to do with financial bailout, but looking at the fiscal space, we don't think government will be able to give out cash. So instead, we are recommending on formulating or reviewing regulations that can help the businesses to go back to their pre-pandemic levels.
Meanwhile, Traditional Authority Mankambila of Kata Bay says government should move with speed in putting in place favorable laws that will cushion the citizenry from such shocks.
It's good that government should put some laws which could help companies to help the employees whenever they go on holiday. Maybe they are being laid off, they have to be provided enough funds that can make them survive wherever they go.
The MCCCI conducted the survey with funding from Oxfam to ascertain the impact of COVID-19 on the economy, mainly the private sector, as one way of finding lasting solutions to challenges caused by the pandemic. Reporting for Zodiak from Salima, I am Joseph Mazizi.
Let's now move on to sports. The future of boxer Israel Kamwamba's non-title bout scheduled for Tanzania this month end is in limbo, as the Malawi Professional Boxing Control Board says he won't be issued with clearance to fight anytime soon. The Chilomon-based boxer was recently released from prison where he served a 4-month jail term for assault. The board's vice president Frank Chibisa told us that Kamwamba will first face disciplinary charges for his involvement in street fighting and putting the sport into disrepute. Sambanda reports.
Chibisa says on the 6th of December, Kamwamba told the board that he had been released from Chichiri prison where he was serving his jail term, but the board wants to cross-check with credible authorities, including the police, the prison authorities, to verify about his release and conditions. The Malawi Professional Boxing Control Board vice president says the board will not rush in clearing him to fight in Tanzania before he faces disciplinary charges for his actions that discredited the sport. Chibisa says the board is aware about his forthcoming non-title bout in Tanzania on 26th of December that has been secured by Ngumi Boxing Promotions, but his clearance will be held until the disciplinary action is taken against him.
As a body, we cannot give him judgment based on his side only. We are trying to liaise with the court, the police and the like, so that we should hear from the other side of the part, so that we can make a clear determination based on these two parties. After presenting our findings, we are going to deliver the findings to the board, and the board will sit down and make or map up the way forward. What should now happen? Because he was imprisoned for 4 months, the board has to punish him as well, so that others should learn the lesson from what has happened or what will happen.
The board also stripped off Kamwamba his national lightweight title after his conviction. Whilst in jail, Israel Kamwamba also missed a chance to vie for the Universal Boxing Organization UBO lightweight bout against Tanzanian Salimu Mtango.
And that's what we had time for in this edition of the news. But before we go, another look at the headlines. MEC declares 2 independent candidates and the UDF1 winners of Tuesday's by-elections. EU challenges the Tonsi Alliance government to fulfill its reform agenda for the socio-economic development of the country. Lawyers in the judge's attempted bribery case present their oral submissions before the High Court. And in sports, boxer Israel Kamwamba's non-title bout scheduled for Tanzania this month end is in limbo. Log on to our website Zodiak Malawi for more news. Remember to wear a mask always when you are in crowded places to help contain the spread of COVID-19. On behalf of the team, my name is Chansimo Zabanda. Goodbye.
Nyumba Ichene promotion. This festive season, get a sofa set, a trendy coffee table, and extendable TV unit from Zoe at